But if you live here, your job takes
Yeah.
that in consideration. Like just like when you work in the Bay Area and a waiter makes $25 an hour, like, and you look at that like, whoa, it's like, yeah, but that's still not enough, right? So like the Bay Area, they know you're
That's
living
not.
there, right? They know you're living there. They know you have to like live there, so they pay you accordingly. They try to pay you as much as they can and they want to, right? And so
Yeah, correct.
when we look at things like that, like the Bay Area thing is a good way to look at it because such a crazy extreme to Sacramento, right? It's craziness, right? But you're okay though. You know what I mean? Like with my salary in the Bay Area, no, I would be not okay, right? But my salary in Sacramento, right? We have a house paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In full, right? We have things. We don't have bills like that. We have extra money that comes in. Of course, you want to make more, but when you get like I said, when you get kind of used to what you have, what you make, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like I talked to like some of my buddies and like, oh, what if I was bringing home like 20 G's a month, right? I can hear some feedback on your thing. What
you, you'd,
I can make
yeah, yeah.
like
No, no, no.
the only thing that would
If
change.
you make 20,000 a month, you can spend 15 of it. Trust me,
Yeah,
that's the way it
yeah,
works.
I'm still gonna only put
Like the
away
more
two. Yeah,
money you make, the more
yeah,
things.
yeah. I'm still only gonna save 2 G's, right? Like I do now. So you're gonna, you said I can spend
Yeah,
18 G's. Like the toys will change, right? The toys will definitely change. Like when I say
yeah,
toys, I'm talking about like cars. And you're talking about just like I don't know, man. Like I already have a phone that is the brand new phone, right? I already have a computer that's up top of the line. I
sure,
already have a TV that's top of
sure.
like.
Yeah.
What else could you really have more besides changing your zip code and living somewhere in the same size house, but in a better neighborhood that's worth now,
In
three
a
times.
neighborhood, whatever it is. Yeah, yeah,
But better.
yeah.
What do you mean, like
I mean,
better?
it's
Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah. There was a point where I was, buying every single phone. I had three phones for some reason at one point. Like, you have so many consumerism items, right? When it comes down to the situations where, in the end, man, you're sitting there just thinking about, man, why do I get a new phone every year? What did my phone do different? Did it text different? Like, I mean, in reality, we're not really calling everybody all the time, but did it text different? Like, did the internet show up different on my phone than the other one? Like,
right.
there's really no other new thing that these companies are pulling out except for a camera. If you actually look at the difference between a phone now
Yeah,
and a phone the next year, and the next year is the camera got better, but that camera is only good on that phone. So unless that phone you're going to show to the whole world, like, look at the picture I took. Like, it doesn't make a difference once you send it to somebody else. Whatever they're going to see is the best of their phone, right?
yeah. The
Like,
only
that's
thing
the way that the compression works on.
yeah, the only thing I like to like the phone. I'm not either. We're from the same era, obviously, and I had to have the newest phone every year, right? I
Yeah.
had to. Now I didn't go to the 11, so I did skip between 10 and 11. That's the only one I stopped. But
Okay.
I saw that the 10 started. The 10 was in mint condition, man, mint condition after 2 years, and or more than 2 years. I think it was almost 3 years, and it was in mint condition, but it started glitching as far as like the software. And obviously Apple does that on purpose, right? So once you put the new iOS and you keep putting more
Yeah.
iOS, it not just slows it down, but it takes way more storage on your phone, right? And so it starts taking more.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, we just we got a good deal on the 12. But that's the only thing I like to splurge on is my technology. You know what I mean? I feel like just like you said, there's
Yeah.
consumerism. There's also a level of materialistic addiction that people have where they have to
Yeah.
have the newest shoes, right? They have to have they have to have the brand name T-shirts. They have to have a whatever it may be, right? Watches, right? Like a
Sure.
roll,
Sure.
like
Sure.
so when we're talking about toys, those are toys, right? Everything I mean, obviously shoes aren't toys, but things that you don't need that you put on or you use, like people get jet skis, right? Or they start buying boats, or they start buying like whatever snowboards, whatever it is like that. Those to me are things that are for fun, so those are toys. So that's the only thing
Sure.
that can really change when you make more money is that you are going to have nicer and newer toys. You know what I mean? Like,
Nicer. Yeah. I mean, you mean like you can sit there with a 2009 blue Toyota Corolla with four different engines in there, whatever the heck you still have in there, right?
brand new engine.
But you, no, to a brand new, it's like third engine or something like that.
It's a second.
But
It's a new computer.
you know, you can still upgrade. You can sit there and go, man, you know what? I'm going to buy a used car, or I'm going to buy a newer car because you have more money or you don't have as much debt or whatever it is, right? Like, some people ask me like, oh, how come you don't just get a new vehicle? Like, if you have to put in, $2,000 every year into your
Because
Audi,
you can't
whatever
buy
it
a
is,
new
like,
car for two
you
thousand
know,
dollars.
I mean, you can't buy a new car for $2,000, right?
You,
And even
and
if that, like, yeah, you
you're gonna
put
buy
down
another used
payment.
car. You're gonna buy another used car for $2,000. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like buy used, the same thing.
it's the same thing. Or like if you actually put it into perspective, right? Like if I were to buy a brand new Audi A3, the same thing that I have with the 3.2 liter, whatever you name it, whatever it is, right? I buy a brand new one. That's going to cost me right around 40 grand, 43 grand, 45 grand for what I have and what it is compared to today, right? And then the thing that I bought was 8 grand, and I've maybe put in 6 grand into it additionally. That has nowhere close to even 20 grand. That has nowhere close to 30 or 43 grand. Like, yeah, do I have to put in more money? Sure, but I don't spend as much money, or I don't, that $43,000 vehicle. I wasn't going to pay cash, right? So that there's
People don't
there's
like to
interest.
yeah, people don't like to put in money into like cars is the worst investment, right? Ever. So like people don't like to, like when you buy,
It is. That's why I buy new.
right. So
Yeah,
when people put money into it, they're like, I'm putting, let's say like for instance, like you said, my car went down and it stopped working. So it's like, okay, it's gonna cost me
yeah,
about $2,000 to fix, right? So at that point, it's like, oh, I'll just get a new car because your car's not worth that much, or it's like, it's worth like 3,000, whatever. It's like, yes, I understand that, but
sure.
what other car? I'm gonna buy another used car for 2,000. That could be this, it could be worse. It could be a lemon. We don't know, right? Or
Worse.
I have the
Yeah,
car that I have now. I fix this one problem and we keep going. So it's like, and I know it does hurt inside when you look at a value and you go like, oh my god, that's not a good value. But at that point it was like, okay, I fixed this engine real quick. I'm losing 100,000 miles on it because it had 160, it went down to 60. So now so then it's like I got a little bit of extra life on it, and this, and when the wheels fall off, then the wheels are gonna fall off.
yeah,
But it's it's the same thing, kind of like when houses, right? When people like get a house and like, oh, I don't want to fix it up. It's like, yes, but like, you're always gonna have to continue to spend on that house. You know what I mean? Like, the fence goes down because of the weather the other
yeah.
day,
Oh,
gotta fix the fence. Or you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Fix the
Like
fence.
your flooring gets outdated, you got to put more. It's like, but sometimes people only want to buy new, new, new.